أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. We give thanks to Almighty Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Today we'll be moving to the next quality, which is al-isti'la, and its opposite is al-istifal. Al-isti'la and the opposite is al-istifal. Now, what is al-isti'la? Isti'la, it means elevation. And what does this have to do with what does this have to do with the knowledge of tajweed and its this quality in particular? One thing you should know about this quality is that its alphabet that has this quality are permanent heavy letters. They are permanent heavy letters, and they are to be pronounced in an heavy manner, in a heavy manner, from the back of the tongue, and the back of the tongue will be the back of the tongue will be elevated whenever these alphabets are being pronounced. The back of the tongue will be elevated whenever these alphabets are being pronounced. That's that's one of those things you should know about these alphabets. The back of the tongue should be elevated, and so it's require, as I've said earlier, it requires raising the tongue to the roof of the mouth during the emergence of the letter. It requires raising of the tongue to the roof of the mouth during the emergence of these letters. And the alphabets of this that has this particular quality are the alphabet of khussa, ضغط, قذ. Khussa, ضغط, قذ. These alphabets are kha, sad, ba, ghain, ba, qaf, and va. As it's on the screen, you can memorize it with these with this as it's on the screen. Khussa, baghtin, qidh. Khussa, daghtin, qidh. Those are the 7 letters. Kha, sad, ba, ghain, ba, qaf, and va. So those are the 7 letters of that has to do with al-isti'la, 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 and which the opposite is al-istifal. Of course, as we've said in that of al-isti'la, that it requires raising the tongue to the roof of the mouth. Of course, the opposite should be lowering the tongue to the floor of the mouth. It requires lowering the tongue to the floor of the mouth. You know, when it has to do with al-isti'la, we said you are to elevate your tongue. It should go out, it should to the roof of the mouth. But when it has to do with lowering it, it should, and those are the heavy letters. I said they are heavy letters. When it comes to lowering it, it should be lowered to the mouth. I think when it comes to al sorry, and these aspect of al all alphabets, all other alphabets falls into this category. All other alphabets falls into this category. Apart from the seven alphabets: kha, sad, ba, ghain, ta, qaf, va, as it's in the acronym khussa, daghin, idh. All other alphabets of huruf al-hija falls under the other falls under al-istifal, as explained earlier. Now we have another pair, and that's about al-isti'la and istifal. And now we move to the next pair, which is al-itbaq, wal-infitah. Al-itbaq wal-infitah. الإطباق والانفتاح. Now, when it comes to al-itbaq, what this means is it's as simple as saying uh the meeting of the tongue. It has to do with the meeting of the tongue. Meeting of the tongue with the opposite uh is the meeting of the tongue, and what opposites the tongue from the roof of the mouth. It has to do with the meeting of the tongue and that part what opposites it from the roof of the mouth. This particular quality has just four alphabets, and those alphabets are sad, ba, ba, and va. Those are the four alphabets of al-itbaq: sad, bad, ba, and va. And this is for al-itbaq. While its opposite, as explained earlier, is al-infitah. Al-infitah. Al-infitah is opening, which has to do with the opposite, the separation of the tongue from the roof of the mouth. It is said in the case of al-itbaq that those four letters, whenever they are being pronounced correctly, it has to do with the meeting of the tongue with what opposites it at the roof of the mouth. And as a sad, ba, ba, ba. What opposites it at the roof of the mouth. And as for infitah, is the direct opposite of this instance. It is, it has to do with the separation of the tongue from from the roof of the mouth. That is, it's not meeting anything, including what opposites it. And this has to do with all other alphabets, all alphabets of Arabic language, other of huruf al-hija, other than the four alphabets mentioned earlier. It is Sad, Ba, Ba, and Va. All other alphabet falls under the category of al-infitah, al-infitah. And we will be stopping here today. Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. We explained what has to do with al-isti'la and al-istifal, and we move which are the first pair that we explained. Thereafter, we moved into the second pair, which is al-itbaq, which with al-infitah. So those are the four qualities that we explained today, which are the two pairs, which are two pairs. We explained two pairs, which are the four different qualities. So we ask Allah the Almighty to grant us the understanding of His religion and the understanding of the Quran, the Sunnah of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and may His affairs. صلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه الأخيار وسلم تسليما كثيرا. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.